My name's Brian, and you're watching Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. Thanks for joining me again. Today's video is going to be about a really cool little folding camp stove from a company called Dpower. Folks at Dpower were kind enough to send this to me so I could show it to you. So without further ado, let's take a look at this stove. Okay, so the stove comes in a nice little nylon bag, and first thing you notice when you open it up, it's a little different from some of the other gas stoves, that it's got a kind of a hose on it, almost like a liquid fuel stove, but it is actually designed to use regular butane mix propane type cartridges or cans or whatever you want to call them. Just really standard fuel. And so what I thought we'd do, I actually used this past weekend, so it's not shiny new like a lot of other stuff I'll show you. I used it on campout with the Boy Scouts and did a great job. Actually, I was really pleased with it. And I'll show you some of the things I really like about it in just a minute. I'm gonna get you down here close and we'll fire this thing up and show you how it works, and we'll talk about it just for a minute. Okay, so this is the Dpower little folding backpacking stove. I'm gonna show you where this thing, it just folds up like so. Tops come over like so. So you wind up with a pretty compact little package. The hose is not removable, it's just made on here. And you can fold this up. It actually comes with, mine came with a really nice little nylon bag, fits in here very well. Altogether, this thing only weighs 5.4 ounces, including the bag. And that comes in at about 153 grams. But once again, it uses a standard butane or butane mix, little canisters. And their specs tell you what size threads those are, but they're just standard. I mean, it's not a big deal. There's a couple things I really like about this. And I've got another little stove I reviewed that's similar to this, but the difference is it doesn't have the separate canister. And this also has a piezo igniter. You just click the button. It's good for somewhere around 1 to 1.2 million times, it says. It's got adjustable flame, and I'm going to show you that. You can adjust the flame with using the little knob here. So you can get from a simmer to a full boil. So instead of me just talking about it, let's take a look at it and see how well it actually works. Okay, so first of all, like any stove, you're going to screw your canister on, and this time you're going to screw it on the little hose here. And it's got a rubber seal to kind of mate to the top here to keep leaking out. So I'm going to go ahead and screw that on and make sure, get it tight, and don't have any, get where you can see it. Obviously, you know how to screw a canister on, hopefully. Get it tight, okay. Then you've got your on-off switch on the end of the hose here, like so. And spread your legs out. You know, find your, where this thing's not going to be. That's the one thing that you got to get the hose kind of adjusted right. And it's got a little bit of, it's got enough rotation here. There's an O-ring in there. You can twist it around how you need to. Spread your legs all the way out, which is something I like about it because it gives you a really low center of gravity compared to the kind that screw on top of the canister. I mean, you're already starting up here. So the taller it is, the higher, and your weight is going to be primarily, obviously, whatever's in your pot. In this case, I've got a almost full MSR Seagull pot. So this thing probably weighs a couple of pounds. So I like the fact that it's spread out low. It is lowers your center of gravity. So instead of being up here, where you can't even see it because I'm out of camera range, you'd be right here. And this thing says, their specs say it supports up to 13 pounds. So what's good about this is it's got a wide enough base and a wide enough top that you can put a full-size cast iron frying pan on it, and it's sturdy. I mean, you could turn it over if you try to. You can even put Seagull in it, and it supports up to 13 pounds. So just kind of did that for demonstration purposes. This is an old school heavy duty frying pan too. I don't know if this is Lodge. I think this was like my wife's mom's, maybe her grandmother's. So this is really old school. This is not some lightweight garbage. Okay, enough of that. So I want to show you. You turn the little knob here on. You can hear it starting to come out. Click it. There she goes. And put this, maybe you can see if I put the black behind it, but it goes up high, all the way down to a simmer. I mean, it goes really low, and it doesn't fade, it doesn't flame out on you. It's really low, so you can, which is, I think, is a really great little feature. Some of them stoves are not as good as others with that. So what I thought we'd do, I've got this almost full pot of water. I'm going to put her on here. We'll start my timer, we'll let it boil, and we'll see how long it takes to boil this water. Which, I don't know what that proves, because it's just BTUs, right? I don't know how many BTUs this thing is, but we'll go ahead and start now. Just, you can see that. And start. Okay, we'll turn it up to full blast. See how long it takes, and I'll be back with you, because you probably don't want to just watch this. All right, there you go, and if you can see the timer here for the steam, it is 3 minutes and 48 seconds, and it's been boiling probably for a few seconds already, so that's pretty impressive, really. And let me just turn it down. You can turn it down to simmer, which is also pretty impressive. And you can see still barely burning there, so let's just turn it off now. Set this to the side, and let's wrap this thing up. Okay, well, before we wrap this up, I wanted to show you one thing that I think is probably my favorite feature of this type stove, is not just the low center of gravity, but the fact that it's just got 3 feet, and so really you can kind of work it around. Even if you don't have a really straight, stable, level spot, you can work it around and get those 3 feet level where you can sit your pot level. Whereas when you're the traditional kind that sits on top of the canister here, not only, again, have you got your higher center of gravity, which is inherently less stable, but you've got to try to find a better place. Even if, like, if you're on a slight down slope or whatever, you got to dig it in or whatever. This way, you can just kind of push that 1 foot in. So I just think it's a lot more stable on uneven ground than the kind that sit on top of the canister, in my opinion. Okay, so that is the Dpower folding camp stove, and I've still got it hooked up here. One thing I'm a little disappointed with the folks at Dpower was they were unable to figure out a way to instantly cool that stove so you don't burn your hand when you pick it up by mistake. You'd think I would learn by now, wouldn't you? I actually had scars from picking up the stove a couple of campouts ago. They get hot, folks. Guess what? You got a fire down there. It's metal. Metal gets hot with a fire. So, but it actually does cool off pretty quickly. It's not like a big solid mass of metal. So you just got to use a little common sense. Sometimes we all make those stupid mistakes. So, but anyway, that is, I'm gonna leave it down there because it is still kind of hot. That's the folding camp stove from Dpower. Once again, I'd like to thank the folks at Dpower for sending me the stove so I can show it to you. Again, around 17 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link below. And I have to tell you, you know, I've seen a lot of these little stoves and stuff. I really like this concept. I like the detached from the canister concept. It's a lot more stable. Like I say, I used this just this past weekend to cook all my meals at a Boy Scout campout, and I was actually, you know, putting a pan on it, frying and stuff. It was stable enough where I didn't really have to be as concerned about it turning over and dumping and all that. So just a really good little stove. I think it's you know, for the money, it's got a 1-year guarantee on it. That's 17 bucks. Probably it'll last way over a year, to be honest with you. I think the weak parts are probably the connections in the hose, but if you take care of it, you know, don't beat it up too bad, it should last you a long time. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing, for clicking the like button, for sharing it with your friends, checking out the social media links below. Don't forget to check out the mystery video. Maybe it's something you haven't seen. And I really appreciate, by the way, I don't say this enough, I really appreciate all you guys that are watching those ads. I can tell you are, and it really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you a lot for that. And thanks for checking out those Amazon links below too. If you like shopping on Amazon, you can do so and at no extra cost to you, and help support the channel. And I keep saying I appreciate it, but I really do. Thanks a lot. It helps keep things going. It helps keep the old camera spinning here at Survival on Purpose. So just thanks. Anyway, once again, I'm rambling. My name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.